excited. Here with Cris Carter, Hall of Famer. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Pleasure.
Well, I hope today in our conversation we learn that Cris Carter does more than just catch touchdowns. I think we will.
Right? We hope so. Yeah, but that ain't a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing. You did it good and is a model of consistency, really. 8 years in a row going to the Pro Bowl, over 1,100 receptions. Just loved watching you growing up, man. So
thank you.
Good to meet you. I would like to know a little bit about how Cris Carter grew up. Tell me how kind of it was for you, family dynamic, and really what you wanted to do that ultimately got you to at least start at Ohio State.
Well, I sit here today as a 59-year-old, and my whole life I was able to see it as a kid. And I was able to do exactly what I did. And I think one of the most important things about me growing up is, my mom. My mom had 7 kids before the age of 25. My mom got kicked out of high school because she was pregnant with my oldest brother. My dad was never in my life. My dad ended up having 16 kids, 10 other ones separate from my mom. And so I grew up with very, very humble beginnings. But I always grew up with big dreams. And I always wanted to try to redeem my mother from her youth and how people depicted her, as a mother. Because people never said great things about my mother until her son started achieving great things in sports. And then, which in turn, they could start to see she went back to school and got her GED. She went to college and got her bachelor's. She went back to college, got her master's. So she was always an example, but people never wanted to give her credit. And I slept with my brother, my closest brother in age, John. We slept in the same bed until we're like 12, 13 years old. So we grew up in a housing project in Southwest Ohio, 241 miles from George Hallis Hall, which is the road that the Hall of Fame is on. So to think as a young person, because I told everyone that I was going to be famous one day. I told everyone I was going to be playing pro sports. I told everyone.
Do you remember your earliest memory of that? Of telling somebody you're going to be famous or in pro sports or?
When I was 12 years old, we were taking a science test, middle school, 7th grade. Teacher said, when you get done with the piece of paper, everyone, all your things on your desk, you can lay down, no doodling, let everyone finish. So school came fairly easy to me. I was always I tried to finish the test fast as possible. And then she noticed that I had finished, but I was writing on a piece of paper. I was still doing some stuff. And she's like, Cris, what are you doing? And I said, nothing. And then some of the kids started smirking. They started laughing. She told me to stand up and show the class what I was doing. I was like, no, I'm not doing anything. And she was like, what's that on the piece of paper? And I put the paper up and she's like, what is that? And I said, this is my autograph. And she's like, you're back there practicing your autograph? I was like, yes, ma'am. And she's like, why are you doing that? And I told you to put everything down. And I said, because I'm going to be famous one day. And everybody laughed. All the kids laughed. Teacher laughed. And I never forget.
Yeah.
It was such a moment. I never forget. So that day, as a 12-year-old, I changed my name. I changed the way my name was going to be spelled. And my real name is Gradual Christopher Carter. I'm named after my grandfather. And I told my mom I had gone through all the encyclopedias and there was not one famous Gradual. Not one. I looked everywhere. I told my mom Gradual was not a famous name. And I didn't like the way she spelled Chris or Christopher either, so I'm going to take the H out and it's going to be C-R-I-S. So that's the way I have been since I've been 12 years old. So I started at 14 years old breaking into the stadium and running the stadium steps because my brother at 14, he got drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers. And he told me there's this kid out there named Magic who was running the stadium steps with a weight vest. So at 14, I inherited what my brother was in LA, and the housing price sent me the weight vest. So I used to break into the stadium. The maintenance guy, he used to run me off. He used to call me all kinds of stuff. He used to try to call the police on me and everything. And I was just trying to run the stadium steps. I told dude, if you leave the door open, I won't break in. So that middle school and that stadium, they're 80 yards apart. So as I sat in that classroom as a 12 years old, the stadium across the street, where I'm gonna really understand what sports is about, that stadium's named after me today.
Awesome.
So when kids are dreaming, the difference between adults and kids is adults have stopped dreaming. We've been punched in the face, we quit dreaming. Yeah. We have lower expectations for people and for ourselves. But as kids, it's limitless. Mm-hmm. So when around people, even older people, I said, man, you need to still keep dreaming because it'll keep you alive, it'll keep you fresh. And that's what we came from. We came from dreams. We came from seeing ourselves, projecting ourselves in different situations. Mm-hmm. And now to see something and to say something verbally, because you'll never go beyond your imagination for yourself. You'll never achieve more than you imagine for yourself. Never.
I totally agree.
Never will.
Yeah. So you obviously had success at Ohio State. You get drafted. You're in the NFL. You are part of a lot of different cultures because every year the team is a little different.
Yes.
You got different coaches, different players, could be different city. Can you describe maybe some of the most successful cultures you were a part of and maybe some that were tough and they probably both shaped?
Right. I think the ones that were the toughest were, I think, Philadelphia had a great opportunity in those days. Buddy Ryan, we had one of the top 5 defenses, but he kept the defense and the offense at conflict. And it's impossible as a unit, as an organization, to be at conflict with certain people in certain departments and think that you're going to maximize the moment. You're not. Yeah. Now, even if people have had conflict, which he had when he was in Chicago with Ditka and 85 Bear, but their defense was so amazing. And he wasn't the sheriff. He was a deputy. But now trying to bring that system, to bring an organization together, it doesn't work. It won't work. Like, you need everyone to know we're going after this together. Yeah. And then you can't tell people to knock each other out 6 days a week and then come together on Sunday or Monday, kumbaya. It don't work like that. We're humans.
So you guys were not aligned?
No.
That's not going to work.
No. We were totally at conflict, and we were departments. So,
I see. So
the offense functioned a certain way, the defense functioned a certain way. So you can have some type of success, but you won't maximize the success of that unit or of that opportunity because you're not together.
It's the same in business. I mean, if you're all going different directions, it's just chaos.
And you need direction. Like, departments need direction. And you also need a game plan. Like, what's going to be the game plan for us to be successful? And the truth of the matter is, most teams in business aren't successful because when you look at your teammates, there's just no way I can sugarcoat it. Most people just wake up and they want to be average in the morning. People don't wake up and say, I'm getting ready to be great today. I'm getting ready to do something great today. And if you think that, you're full of shit because that's not what people do. That's not what they think about. Like, when you're in an auditorium and you ask people, be honest with me. I was speaking last week. There was 500 people there. 12 people raised their hands. And I told them all, stand up, stand up. And I told them to their face, 6 of y'all are liars. 6 of y'all got up because some other type of pressure. But when your feet hit the pavement this morning, you didn't say, I'm going to do something great today. I have only heard a handful of people in my life ever say that, besides myself. Mm-hmm. People wake up and they take the day as it comes.
Yeah.
Like, we need to put a mandate on the day. Like, I'm getting ready to maximize today. I'm going to be the best version of myself today. And every opportunity that presents itself, I'm going to be in there. I'm going to make something happen, even out of nothing. Like, that's my expectation.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to speak today. I do believe it's going to be the greatest speech that I ever made. And guess what? I speak to people like it's going to be my last time ever speaking to them. Remember Michael Jordan said, the reason why I play is because I don't know which night you're going to show up. The reason why I play every 82 games is because I don't know which night you're going to come. Yeah. I don't know which night you're going to spend the money you could have been spending on your family, buy your family groceries, paying your rent, paying your car note, health insurance, and you getting ready to put that money on me and come much.
I love it.
That's why I believe Michael Jordan is one of the greatest ever in that type of intentional behavior. Like, we need more of that.
Yeah, I think that's great. You mentioned pressure. Mm-hmm. You've dealt with a lot of pressure as a professional athlete and in some other ways in your life. How have you shaped pressure to ultimately work in your favor, or how do you view it? You kind of just talked a little bit about your mindset, but what do you ultimately feel about pressure? A lot of new people coming up, a lot of CEOs or entrepreneurs, they feel the pressure and or stress. And how do you use that for fuel, or how do you process that for improve?
That's a great question, because I never really talk about pressure. People ask me this all the time, like, how do you do it when people know they're going to throw it to you? I never think about it like that. Mm-hmm. Like, I never think about, I really only think there's only one thing that could happen. Like, if you've prepared yourself, it's like, there's no pressure. It's like, man, this is fun. Man, I'm so glad they chose me. Mm-hmm. Every time a team puts me in a situation that might be pressure, I look at it as like, man, I'm so glad they chose me. I'm so glad I did all that work that prepares me for this. Well, I never really...
You don't feel it. Not feel it, but your mindset is, this is a gift.
Well, this is the thing. There's important moments. Like, there's always the moment of truth. And I'm not always successful, but I'm always giving my best effort to give myself the best chance, so now I can live with the results. Mm-hmm. To me, when you've prepared yourself, it's like, I'm not going to always be successful, but I'm going to put myself and put my team in a position that we're going to win a lot of these. So, when I was growing up in housing projects and we didn't have anything to eat.
That's pressure.
And the first time I signed up for football, my mom gave me 50 cents to catch the bus and told me, you got to get to practice however you know how. Like, I don't have the money for you. Like, we only had a shoddy little car then, and she was working. Like, so when I signed up and told people my dream was to be an NFL player, I'm 8 years old, and I got to get to the ballpark, and I ain't got no resources. Mm-hmm. Guess what I did? I put my uniform on. I went out and walked out on the highway. And guess what? White people picked me up. Boy, what are you doing out here? I said, I'm going down to the ball field. We're going down there. Where your parents at? My mom's, she's at work. And a lot of white people picked me up, and it showed me, wow, it's amazing. Even some of this stuff my mom told me about white people, it's not true. It's not true. I had to figure out a way to be able to get to my dream. Mm-hmm. And no time to be making no excuse. My mom said, get to the ball field.
And you got it done.
No. And I knew that was the shortest route. I knew there was a lot of cars, and I wasn't going to hold my helmet and walk with it. No. I put my whole uniform on, put my jersey on. And as soon as I got on the main drag, somebody pulled over a van. And I got right in. Everything mom tell you don't do. Hey, don't do that. And that's what I ended up doing. And then they dropped me off to my football coach and said, hey, I picked up this kid. He was coming to practice. And my coach grabbed me, Butch Johnson. He said, listen, son, if you ever need a ride to practice, you make sure this is my number. You make sure you call me. And I didn't know it was going to make that type of impact on me. Mm-hmm. And ever from there, my coaches, they always like, man, where are you? Get your butt to practice. Hey, coach, I need a ride. Okay. So that's how I grew up, man.
I love it because you have a dream, you have a goal, and you weren't worried about the how. You just knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah, I had every excuse, though, not to get
right. And every excuse and everything, it's a beautiful story, and it's a lot of, success that we're trying to, cultivate and do, and is about having that big goal.
Yeah.
And no matter
and even a part of that, I want to tell you the reason why I mentioned people and people try to avoid it, talking about people. But if you ever have a dream, people are going to be involved, black and white. Mm-hmm. That's what I recognized.
Yeah.
God gave me a dream, and God doesn't see shades of people. Yeah. But I knew immediately, and that's what sports has done around the world. It's leveled the playing field.
Yeah. That's great.
And it's really opened up my mind to be able to see the world from a different perspective, because my perspective, African-American, growing up in America in the 80s and 90s was totally different than a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. That's why I had to bring it up.
No, I appreciate it. Well, Cris, thank you so much for stopping by. The last question I guess I'll ask is, what does the next chapter look like for you? And I know you're developing young kids in college right now. That seems to give you quite a big purpose. Would you say that's kind of your big purpose and why, is to give opportunities that maybe you didn't have or that you did have? Or
I think that, purpose is a great word because it does get you up in the morning. But I think that trying to make a contribution to people's journey is really the goal. Mm-hmm. And really trying to share wisdom from, we've stepped in every hole possible. My career could have gone several different ways, but for the man upstairs. Like, I could have messed this up. And trying to pour into them how essential it is to be dependable and to be consistent. We have this thing that we work on. We say we want to be the uncommon man. We want to be like the man that was raised in the 70s and the 80s. And yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Treat people with respect. No gender bias, no racial bias. So we talk about those types of things, that those things pass through every generation. Generosity, being thoughtful, thinking of people, asking people how they're doing, and really caring about what they say. So, young people, and speaking into their life and trying to make a contribution and living my life through them. I tell them my cement is dry. I can't screw it up, but I can win trophies through you. You graduate, go on, meet a young lady, have a family, all of those things. I'm still winning games through them. I'm still playing, running through them. So that's where I am right now as far as my life, what's next, and very, very excited about the future and the future of young people, especially in athletics.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for stopping by. I know our listeners are going to just glean a whole lot from this. And congratulations on all your success.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Cris.
Tune into next week's episode with CEO of Child Crisis Arizona, Tori Taj. This is TMG People First Podcast. See you next week.